Hey, it's John from Adults Have Toys Too. This year I went all in on the Samsung trade-ins. So I'm trading in my Samsung Z Fold 4 for the Z Fold 6. I'm also trading in my Galaxy Watch 4 Classic in for the Galaxy Watch 7. And I'm also trading in my Buds 2 Pro for the Buds 3 Pro. And on top of all of that, I've also thrown in there the Galaxy Ring. Now, out of all of those, the one I'm talking about right now is the Buds 3 Pro because that's the one I'm sending back. The other ones I'm going to take some more time to play around with and kind of see what I like and what I don't like. But I already know that I don't want to keep the Buds 3 Pro, though your experience may be different. So let's talk about it. So first off, they're not bad. They are not bad at all. I actually like them quite a bit. I know, they look a lot like AirPods, all the way down to the metal hinge on the back for the lid. But really, I mean, does that matter? If you have a Samsung phone, are you really going out and buying AirPods? Or if you have an iPhone, are you really going out and buying some Samsung Buds Pro 3? The answer is probably no. So before we get started on the pros and cons, I just want to kind of touch on a couple of the little details I noticed about these that I just found kind of interesting. One is that the case has a flat top and bottom, so it'll actually stand upright, unlike your AirPods. On that clear lid, the word Samsung is on the top, but it's actually etched on the inside. So the outside feels completely smooth, so it's not going to go ahead and rub. The rough part is actually on the inside. The other thing I noticed is it does in fact have a metal hinge on the back, which I think is a very nice touch. And then the buds themselves, they have a really nice look to them. Actually, even though they look so close to the AirPods or the AirPods Pro, I think they brought their own unique flair to it, and I really appreciate what they did with it. Another little detail that's kind of interesting is you do have to line it up just right to kind of get it into the case. If you're a little bit off, it doesn't really help you on it. And so I'm sure once you've kind of built in that muscle memory, once you've figured out the way to get it in, it'll be much easier. But when you take them out, they're backwards. So when you pull them out, you got to kind of flip them around and then put them in. And then when you take them out, you do have to turn them back around and make sure they're in the right way. Whereas on the old ones, when I take it out, it's already oriented to put in my ear. So it's not something I have to kind of flip around and figure out how it goes. But now the pros and cons. So let's start off with the things I like. I actually like the way they look. They're kind of angular. They have a little bit of a unique style to it, even if they do have those stems, because they have some flat surfaces. And I really like how I can change the volume up and down. The way that the Buds 2 Pro does it is really finicky. It's kind of like a tap thing, and I really don't like that. So I like having the stems for those volume controls, and squeezing them is very natural for the other buttons. And the other pro is I kind of think wearing something that looks like AirPods is almost more socially acceptable to be seen wearing in public. I mean, I know it sounds silly, but it seems like people would have less of an issue seeing you wearing AirPods because they're just so used to those, versus wearing something that's more unusual to their eyes, at least. Now, should that matter? No, of course not. And you might just not care what other people think. But honestly, we're social animals. So taking into account how others perceive the products we use is actually a natural thing, and something that a lot of companies really spend a lot of time thinking about, because it absolutely does affect sales. Now, on the neutral side, the sound quality, I would say, is about comparable, at least from my usage. I'll say the Buds 3 Pro are a little more bassy, but kind of on the edge of boomy. And I kind of played around with the EQ settings, but it's consistently having a little bit more bass than the Buds 2 Pro. I kind of like the clarity of the Buds 2 Pro, but honestly, it's kind of like half a dozen in one hand and 6 in the other. There really isn't much there between the two. So not really the reason why to upgrade or keep one or the other. But let's talk about the big issue. The reason why they're going back is they just don't fit my ears. And that's an incredibly personal thing. I tried all 3 bud tips, and my left ear, it will just slowly start working its way out. So when I put them in, especially if I'm talking, that left bud, it'll just start to unscrew itself and it'll just start working its way out. And it's really annoying. I actually had to fall out one time, and I've tried the different bud tips, I've tried different placements, I've tried different ways of putting it in, and it's just, I don't think my ears are compatible with that shape. Now the Buds 2 Pro, they're not the best at staying in either. They have that more kind of just a earplug shape, but I did put some of these Comply memory foam ear tips on, and that's done a lot to make sure that they stay. As of right now, they're not available for the Buds 3 Pro, but I don't see enough benefits to the Buds 3 Pro to keep them rather than trading in my Buds 2 Pro. So I'm just going to keep the Buds 2 Pro. Now, if you want to talk about what really fits well, at least for me, I actually still have a pair of Buds Plus. These are the old ones that come in the pill-shaped case, and these just fit perfect. They just screw right into my ear. I can't even tell it's there, and they will not fall out for anything. These are the workout buds. I will absolutely throw these in because they are not going to fall. They're not going to come loose. I don't even know they're there, but they are showing their age a little bit when it comes to features. They don't have noise cancellation. Their pass-through is serviceable. One thing I will say on the Buds 3 Pro is that pass-through is actually really, really good. So I am kind of disappointed. I like them. I think they're a good product, but they just don't fit, and if they're not going to fit, they're kind of not worth keeping. I'm more than happy with my Buds 2 Pro. They stay in. I like the way they sound. I really don't have any reasons to go to the Buds 3 other than those controls are a little bit easier to use. And if I'm going to be working out or doing something that's more vigorous, I still have my Buds Plus, which are amazing for that. So I just figured I'd put together a quick video on these because I'm not going to do a long-term review. They are going back and I'm not going to be keeping them. But if you are curious about the other items I picked up, the Z Fold 6, the Galaxy Watch 7, and the Galaxy Ring, please go ahead and drop a subscribe because I will be taking a deeper dive into those in the near future. So until next time, never stop having fun.